Hello children. Last class we have learnt the lesson getting to know plants. In that, categories of plant, stem and its functions, leaf and its functions. Can you remember what are the functions of a leaf? Leaf performs two functions. One is transpiration, another one photosynthesis. Can you recall the definition of photosynthesis? Here, photosynthesis is a process by which plants, that means chlorophyll containing plants, synthesize food using carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and produces food, and this process is called as photosynthesis. And what about one more function of leaf? Here, that is transpiration. Here, transpiration, it is a process in which plants, that means leaves, released water in the form of vapor. Here, that process is called as transpiration. In the process of photosynthesis, plants produces carbohydrate, and that carbohydrate is stored in the form of a starch. Here, an activity to explain leaf contain starch. Requirements for the experiment. Beaker, test tube, water, spirit, and leaf, and iodine solution. It is a experiment or activity to show that leaf contains starch. Here, requirements: beaker, test tube, water, spirit, leaf, and iodine solution. Here, what we have to do? Here, first take beaker. Beaker is filled with water. Half of the beaker is filled with water. And test tube is placed in beaker. In the test tube, spirit is filled and a leaf is immersed. Here, beaker is taken, it is filled with water, and a test tube is taken. In the test tube, leaf is placed, and to the test tube, alcohol or spirit is added, and water is boiled. And here, boiling is done or continued till the color of leaf disappears. Then take out the leaf, wash it, and it is a Petri dish. Petri dish means it is a glass material made up of glass. Here, in which leaf is placed and to which iodine solution is added. Here, Petri dish is taken and on that leaf is placed and to that iodine solution is added. When we add iodine solution, here leaf, color of leaf changes into bluish black color. it indicates leaf contain starch. So it is an activity or experiment to show that leaves produces food during photosynthesis and that food stored in the form of starch. Here once again I repeat, here take a beaker which is filled with water and take a test tube in which leaf is immersed, to which spirit is added, and here beaker or water is boiled. Here boil is done continued till the leaf of color of leaf disappears. Then take out the leaf and put it on a petri dish and put iodine solution. When we add iodine solution, color of the leaf changes into blue-black color. It indicates leaf contain starch. Now let us move on to the next topic, root. Here, what is root? You know that root is an underground part of plant, or it is a part of the plant which lies below the surface of soil. Here, what is root? Root is that part of plant which lies below the surface of soil. Here, what is the function or what are the function of a root? You know that here without root plants cannot live, cannot take water from the soil. Here based on that, that is one function. Here root helps in absorbing water and minerals from the soil. And next function, here root helps in here fixing the plant firmly to the soil, or it encourage or helps in anchorage, or it anchors the plant to the soil. Here root helps in absorption of water and minerals from soil. Here is an activity to show that here how root absorb or whether root absorb water and minerals from soil. Here take two same plants, take two same type of plant, and here one of the plant, place one of the plant in one container, keep one of the plant in one container, and take another plant, cut off its root, take another plant same kind and take off, remove its roots and keep in another container. Here put the water for two containers regularly. Have to put water regularly for both of the plants and keep it as it is for a week. Here what happens? You can say what will happen if you do like this. Here we have taken two plants of the same type. One is placed in one container without removing its root. Another plant placed in another container, but we have removed its root. What will happen? After 1 week, when we observe one plant, that means plant in the container first, here that grows well because it has root, and second container in which we have removed the root. So here this plant cannot take water and minerals from soil, so this plant cannot grow well. It shows that root helps in upward conduction or absorption of water and minerals from the soil. One plant grows well, another plant does not grow well. It is because it does not have root, so it does not take water and minerals from soil. It shows that plant root helps in absorption of water and minerals from the soil. One more function of root here, that is it fixes the plant firmly to the soil. Here is an activity to show that roots hold the plant firmly to the soil, or they anchor the plant to the soil. Here is an activity. Here take a container. It is filled with wet cotton in which here soaked green gram seeds are placed, and here what happens? Here keep aside as it is for 1 week and sprinkle water regularly. Here seeds, soaked seeds that develops sprouts, and later sprouts develop into young plants or saplings like this. Yeah. After a week, try to separate the plant root from the cotton. Is it possible? No. Here plant roots developed and that firmly fixed to the cotton. We cannot easily separate the plant from the cotton. Here it shows that plant root fixes firmly to the cotton here. Here as the same, one more, here plant root fixes firmly to the soil also. Same here also, activity, take soaked seeds, green gram seeds and placed in a container that contains soil, to which sprinkle water regularly, keep aside, and sprouts develop, and later that develops into young plants, and try to separate the plants from the soil. It is not easily come out or come up from the soil. It is because root firmly attaches to the soil in both these cases. Children, now you understood the functions of root. Here first one, roots helps in absorption of water and minerals from soil. And next one, it fixes the plant firmly to the soil. Here I cannot separate the plant from cotton. When I try to pull the plants from cotton, it cannot come up easily. So it is a activity or experiment to show that it fixes the plant firmly to the soil. Children, now you know about root and its function. Next, you might have seen roots of various plants. Here there are two types of root. One is a tap root, another one fibrous root. You might have seen the plants of grass or tulsi plant. Have you observed the plant roots, children? Here if you observe the root of that plants, those two roots are totally different. Here what is tap root and what is fibrous root? Here if you take the root of tulsi plant or hibiscus plant, here that type of root is called as tap root. Why it is called as tap root? Here some plants have only one main root and other branches, lateral roots develop from the main root. Here that is called tap root. Here example, tulsi plant, tulsi plant root, and you can write hibiscus plant root, that shows tap root. What is tap root? Here plant has only one main root and other lateral roots develop from the main root. Here that is called as tap root, and that branches, names are there. Here first, that main root, it is called as primary root. It develops branches, it is called secondary root, and next its branch is called as tertiary root. Here next one, fibrous root. What is fibrous root? Here some plants develop a bunch of small roots from its base. Here that is called as fibrous root. Some plants do not have one main root. Instead of this, these have bunches or groups of root which develop from the base of the plant. Here that is called fibrous root. Example, grass or paddy plant, wheat, maize. We can give many examples that shows fibrous root system. Now you understood what is tap root and fibrous. Tap root, it has main root, one root, and it develops branches like secondary branches or a secondary root and also tertiary roots. Whereas fibrous root, here bunches or groups of root develops from the base of the plant. Here it is called as fibrous roots. Children, now see the plant with tap root system. Now you can see here one main root, it is called primary root. Here in this plant it has one main root, it is called primary root, and another plant it has one main root. Here these are called primary roots, and next these primary roots develop other branches. These are called as secondary roots. These are called as secondary roots. And next, from the secondary root some other branches develop. These are called as tertiary roots. Here thus together here plants are called as taproot, or this plant has taproot system. Main roots and with the lateral roots are called as taproot system. Here plants with fibrous root system. What do you mean by fibrous root? Here bunches of roots or group of roots develop from the base of plant. It is called fibrous roots. Here many roots or group of roots which are somewhat equal in length and thickness develop from the base of the plant. Here many roots of somewhat equal in length and thickness develop from the base of the plant. It is called as fibrous root system. Here now here two plants, one is with the taproot, another plant with fibrous root. Now you can differentiate the roots of these two plants. Here one main root, primary root, and its branch, secondary root, and its branch, it is called as a tertiary root. And this plant with many roots or bunches of groups of root developing from the base of the plant. Here these are the two examples for taproot and fibrous root system. Hope you understood fibrous root system and taproot system. Children, you have learnt about leaf and its venation. Can you remember what is leaf venation? Yes, it is a structural arrangement of veins on the leaf. It is called leaf venation. I have explained about venation, and I told the two types of venation also. Can you remember? Yes, one is reticulate venation, another one parallel venation. Here the plant here which have taproot system here shows reticulate venation. Here that means I have written here example tulasi plant and one more hibiscus plant that shows reticulate type of venation. Here that means always the plant with taproot have reticulate venation. And one more fibrous root I have showed now, grass plant. You can remember what is the type of venation in the leaf of grass. It is parallel venation. So a plant with fibrous root always have parallel venation. You have to remember that comes for the exam. Name the plant with the taproot, or what is the type of venation which have taproot, and name the type of root which have parallel venation. Like that you have to remember all those. Children, when we conclude the functions of root, leaf and stem, here we can say that roots absorb water and minerals from soil, whereas a stem conducts water to the upper parts of the plant or other parts of the plant, whereas leaves use water and prepare food or helps in photosynthesis, and also transpiration takes place with the help of or through the leaves. And here root conducts or absorb water from the soil, and stem conducts water to the upper parts of the plant, whereas the leaves by using this water perform photosynthesis, that means prepare food, and this food that is stored in the form of starch. So here that starch is conducted or translocated or transported through the stem downwards towards the root. Here what is here, I repeat, here food that is stored in the leaves translocated downwards through the stem into the root. In some plants, in some of the plants, we can see this food prepared in the leaves and stored in the tip of root. As a result, root becomes swollen or root bulges. Yeah, that root we can use as vegetable and we can eat it. Yeah, for example, root of some plants like carrot plant and potato plant and sweet potato, tapioca, radish, all these plants have thick bulged root. Yeah, why these plants have thick roots? It is because plant leaves that prepare food and that food translocated downward through the stem and stored in the or at the tip of a root. Here, thus stem helps in two functions. One is upward conduction of water from root to the upper parts of the plant, that is to the leaves, and also food that is transported downward to the root. Here, thus stem acts as a straight or a two-way traffic. Here, stem acts as two-way traffic by which in which that conducts food downwards and also stem conducts water upwards. So it is also called or stem acts as two-way traffic. Next topic of the lesson is a flower. Here, what is flower? You might have seen various type of flower, isn't it? Yes, flowers are various shapes, sizes, and also variety of flowers we can see in our surrounding. Here, what is a flower? Flower is a modified shoot. What is a flower? Flower is a modified shoot. Shoot is modified to form a flower. Here, now we are going to learn the parts of flower. Here, what is written here? It is pedicel. Pedicel of flower. Here, it is a flower, hibiscus flower. Hibiscus flower. Here, this green part is the pedicel. Here, through which it is attached to the leafy twig or to the stem. Here, this part it is pedicel. Here, through which it is attached to the stem. Here, next part of the flower. Here, I have written here calyx. In your textbook, it is not given as calyx. Here, this green color part, this green color part is calyx. Together, all these here, these parts are called as calyx. And here, structures, small structures we can see at the tip that is somewhat dissected. Here these are called as sepals. In your textbook it is given as sepals. Here, that means here next part or first part of flower is a sepal. Sepal means here 5 sepals are united together to form calyx. Calyx is a one word. Here it has 5 calyx. In this 5 calyx, 5 sepals are there. 1 calyx and 5 sepals are there. Here, next part is a corolla. It is also not given in your textbook. Here, this together, here this attractive part of flower, attractive part of red color is here. Attractive part of flower, it is single. Here it is called as petal. Petals, 5 are here, petals. Together, all these 5 petals together called as corolla. Here 5 petals together called as corolla. Now in your textbook sepals are given. Here 5 sepals together form 1 calyx and 5 petals, attractive part of the flower, that form 1 corolla. Here first part is calyx, it has or its units are called as sepals. Next second part is corolla, its units are called as petals. Here next part is androecium. Here in this flower, here you can see many yellow color structures. Here yellow color structures you can see. It is a third whorl flower. Here these are called as androecium, male reproductive part of flower. here these are male reproductive part of flower. Can you count this? Here no, it is not possible to count. Many structures are here. These structures are called as stamens. Here many structures are called as stamens. So stamens are male reproductive part of flower. Many stamens are here. Here many stamens together form androecium. Here androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower. Next, innermost part we have to cut open to see the innermost part of flower. Here that is gynoecium, and also its name, it is one more name, it is called as here pistil. Here one by one in detail we will explain while dissecting the flower. Two hibiscus flowers are here. Here which are the parts of flower? Here this part, it is pedicel, through which it is attached to the stem. Here next part, here this part, here this part, it is calyx, and it has 5 structures. These are, if you count this, there are 5 sepals here together form calyx. Here next part, so I will open this flower. Now we got here 5 sepals together form calyx. Next attractive part of flower, it is together, it is called as corolla. Here when I cut out, remove, here there are 5 petals we can get. Totally there are 5 petals here together form corolla. Next here third part of flower, a pink color. Here you can see, here it is androecium. Here these are, many are here, these are stamens, male reproductive part of flower. And next innermost, when we here third part of flower is androecium. Here many stamens are here. It is androecium, and these are stamens. Here also I opened the androecium part, and next innermost part is corolla. Sorry, it is gynoecium part, innermost part. Here like this we can get. Here in this part, here it is the stigma part. There are 5 stigmas, and here this one style part. From here to here it is a style, and at the tip it has stigma. And if we cut open, okay, like this, here basal part, and here basal part, what we got here, this one, it is a bulged swollen part, it is called as ovary part. Here thus gynoecium shows 3 parts. Here first one ovary, here basal part, ovary, bulged part, and this part it is a style, and at the tip it has a stigma. 5 stigmas here. Here it is a diagram of flower. Here parts, here stigma part, female part of flower. Here stamens, male part of flower. Next basal part of pistil, that is ovary, and here corolla, attractive part, here made up of petals, and first part of flower is calyx, it is made up of sepals. And here this part, green color structure, it is pedicel, through which it is attached to the stem. Now you have seen here this part, here these are stamens or androecium or male reproductive part of flower. If you take one androecium, here it shows here structure like this. Here it shows one part of androecium, that means one stamen that shows parts like here basal part, it is called as filament, and tip part it is called anther. Here this stamen I have drawn here, single stamen here that shows only two parts, upper part anther and basal part filament. And one more important here, innermost part of flower, that is pistil or gynoecium, here that shows three parts, one is ovary, middle part style, and tip part that is stigma. Here the diagram of that one, here it is a basal ovary and it is a style, and here these are stigma and basal part, here ovary. It is diagram of pistil or gynoecium. Three parts, basal ovary, mid part style, and tip part it is stigma. Here when we cut open lower part of the pistil, that is ovary, here inside the ovary there are 5 chambers. When we cut open the ovary, we can see 5 chambers, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 chambers. Inside chambers we can see small bead like structure. Here those are called as ovules. Those are called as ovules. Here when we cut open this ovary part, here we can see small bead like structure. Those are called as ovules. And here it is a TS of ovary. TS means when we take transverse section of ovary, with the help of blade we have to take the transverse section of ovary, then we can see ovules inside that. Here these structures are present inside the here pistil. Now you have learnt the parts of flower and structure of flower. Here it is a homework for you children. Draw the diagram of flower. Draw the diagram of flower. Here one more, here diagram, you can draw this diagram also. Otherwise, here one more diagram, it is there in your textbook. You can draw that diagram also. Parts are same, but we have used here hibiscus flower in our class. So I have drawn here this diagram. You can do this diagram or the diagram from the textbook.